Hey everyone, this is me creating an ikFkSwitch arm. Um, this is the elf character that was supplied for the class. The video I have here is sped up about 2 times, so it's a little bit shorter. Yeah, I'm just going to jump right in. So I'm just going to draw a straight chain and move it into position. First thing I'll do is find the proper placement for the shoulder, and then rotate it down so that it sort of follows the arm. Then I'll grab the elbow and the wrist control or joints and move those in a position as well. I'll start rotating things a little bit too. You'll notice that for both the wrist and the elbow, I'm only going to be rotating in one axis, whereas the shoulder, I'll be using multiple axes for rotation, but just one single rotation for both the shoulder or the elbow and the wrist. So just switching back and forth between my front and my side view, making sure that things line up properly. You can see, so the wrist is a little low. What I just did there is grab the shoulder joint and rotate that in the x-axis. You can see that I brought it up a little bit. Just a little bit more tweaking. Again, looking at all the different views. It definitely helps to switch to wireframe mode every once in a while, so you can sort of follow the edge loop. Here I'm just adding another joint into the chain. This is going to be the clavicle. It's going to be the parent of the shoulder joint. So I'm just placing it into proper position right now. Just a quick resize of the joints. I bumped the radius up to 2. So there I just froze all the joints. You'll notice that I have values on my joint orient attribute now instead of my rotate. I'm just checking out the local rotation axes right now. You can see that actually unparent these guys, rotate them 180 degrees, and then parent them back all up again. I'm just going to do that in a couple seconds here. I didn't like what that was doing, so I just undid that. This is just me unparenting everything right now. They're still in the same spot, but I'm just grabbing them and then rotating them 180 degrees in the x-axis. I'm just holding down J to snap. You can see up in the attribute editor, just 180 degrees. Parenting everything back up again. To what it was before. You'll notice that my local rotation axes, the z-axes, are now pointing backwards where they were pointing forwards prior to. Just some renaming now. You can see the name scheme that I'm using. You guys can use something similar, but this is what I use. Here I'm duplicating the shoulder joints and then renaming them all to add both an underscore FK and underscore IK lettering into each name. I'm creating the controls I'm going to start out with the FK first. And what I'm doing here is parenting the control underneath the joint and then zeroing out all the transforms. You can see how these guys sort of pop into place. They also follow the rotation values of the joints that they're parented to. Quick rotate and scale them up. And then I think I scale up the shoulder and the elbow slightly as well. And then I just quickly froze the transforms and unparented them. Just doing some renaming here. created some groups. These are going to be some 0 groups that I add or I parent my controls to. So quickly renaming these guys too. And then I create a another control for my ikFkSwitch. Scale it up a little bit, and then I'll add a group. Do some renaming, and then move it up to the position that I want. Normally I just have these guys sort of floating a little bit behind the shoulder / arm area. Just make it nice easy for the animators to grab and switch if they want to. So my axis is off a little bit here. I'm just going to freeze the rotation values so it's all zeroed out. Here I'm adding some custom attributes. Whenever I do that, I like to add a separator that's just 10 underscores in a row. And just added my ikFkSwitch quickly. This is just a quick tip. If you want to rearrange these guys, you can basically delete them and then hit undo, and it'll pop what you just deleted down to the very bottom. That's what I just did there. So now I'm just parenting my groups up to, or my controls up to my groups. My controls were originally at 0, 0, 0, so I'm just parenting them to the, or my groups are 0, 0, 0, so I'm parenting them to my controls, and then zeroing out their attributes, and then reversing the parents so that the controls are children of the groups. And then here I just created the FK chain for my controls. I'm creating an IK handle. You got to make sure that you're under, or you select rotate plane solver. Once you do that, you click your shoulder IK joint and then your wrist IK joint. Just a quick rename. Here I'm placing the pull vector. So what I do is create a triangle basically between the 3 joints, and then I just create a line basically and move it into position. Here I'm going to be creating 2 locators. I'll add an aim constraint to one of the locators. It's the wrong one there, so I just did it to this proper one. I bumped it back, removed the constraint, and then deleted the other locator. Here I'm just renaming the locator, and I think I add a group to it just to zero it out as well. Push it back just a little bit. Oh, I'm adding a pull vector constraint. So there's the group created, zeroed it out, and then parented my control underneath my group. You can see that my IK chain is following the pull vector as I move that around. So here I'm parent constraining my FK controls to my FK joints, and I am point constraining my IK control to the IK handle, and then orient constraining that same IK control to my IK wrist. So that's a point constraint to the IK handle, and then this is the orient constraint to the wrist. You can see that I just show my local rotation axis, and it's following as I move my control around. Alright, so I'm bringing up my node editor. This is where sort of the magic happens. I'm going to be bringing in all my joints. If you grab them in the outliner, you can middle mouse button and drag, into the node editor, and that'll populate your list. I'm just going to reposition these guys a little bit better so that when I start adding the blend color nodes, it just makes it a little bit easier. So I hit tab and just start typing in blend. And you can see that blend colors popped up. And I selected that. I duplicated it twice, and now I'm just renaming it to what I want it to be. So there's one for the shoulder, one for the elbow, and then one for the wrist as well. And here I'll be connecting the FK joint, each FK joint, so right here it's the shoulder, to the color 1 of my blend color, and the IK joint to the color 2 of my blend color. And then I'll be expanding the output and connecting the RGB to my default shoulder joint. So here I'll be doing the same for my elbows. So FK rotation values get plugged into color 1, that's XYZ, into RGB. My IK joint gets plugged into color 2, that's the rotate XYZ, into the color 2 RGB. And then I'll grab the output values of that elbow blend color node and plug the RGB into my default elbows XYZ rotation. And then same thing for the wrist. This is the last one. FK goes into color 1. IK goes into color 2. That's the rotate XYZ for both of them. And then again, the output value goes into the default rotate value, or the default joints rotate values. So once that is all hooked up, I'm going to bring my ikFk switcher into the node editor. Again, that's just middle mouse button drag from the outliner. And I'm going to connect the ikFk switch attribute that I created earlier into the blender attribute of all of my blend color nodes. So here I am connecting that ikFk switch to the visibility of all the FK controls, and I'm going to be creating a reverse node and then piping that into my IK visibility. And you'll notice that when I switch between my IK and my FK, the actual controls will show up and then become invisible depending on which mode I'm in. So right now I'm in IK. You can see me going back and forth between IK and FK. My controls pop up. I remove my IK control, select the joints. Both my default joint and the IK joint chain are following. Here I just switch to the FK mode, moving that around, select it again. You can see that both the IK and, the FK and the default joints are following each other. Here I'm just zeroing everything out and moving the pull vector around. You can see that that's working properly. And that's it. So I hope this helps you guys. Cheers.